Hello and welcome to Patrick's Models and Transport. Welcome to Padova, where the temperature is maximum temperature 35 degrees centigrade, minimum 21, perceived temperature 38, relative humidity 55%. It's horrible. Right. Having gone through the weather report, we're going to fit the buffers on this side of the locomotive. So, I've got the light on. You can hear those insects going there. The cicada storcicale in Italian started at 5:20 this morning because they woke me up. 5:20. They've been going flat out since 5:20 in the morning, which tells you the temperature. Okay, so anyway, here's the locomotive. Some minor updates before we do this. I picked out the windscreen wipers as well today, using the usual technique of the nib. You can probably see them there, you see. I used my very fine nib pen, this side as well. And now we're going to fit these buffers. So, and regarding the, I will look at other photos of the locomotives, of the BB67000s. So, here, the space between the buffers is actually recessed, and there's the big straight buffer bar, which in origin it's actually painted blue, but then it gets dirty, and so it looks as if it's painted black. The thing is that Lima simplified this space. The Juef model, remember the Juef BB67000, which was 67001. That I bought, the Juef one that was missing I'll put a link in the description box. It was missing the motor magnet, and that one, the molding is actually better down here. So Lima simplified it, made it more curved. So I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm not going to paint it different. And at the end of this video, I'll show you a few photos, which I will also link in the description, and show you here directly from my computer monitor. But first things first, let's get this thing here done. So we'll begin. We're going to use, as usual, our friend glue and glaze. So let me put a drop of glue and glaze here. I'll get a piece of wire as usual, and we'll get this job done before dinner time. I've put myself a nice wee drop of glue and glaze on this bit of paper. So, right, I need a bit of wire, an old paper clip. There we go, nice paper clip here. Okay, so we'll begin with the one which is all in one piece, the good one. So we'll fit the good one first, because that will be a reference for the other one, because here we're going to fit the one in the reconstructed buffer housing, which is a bit shorter, because as you know, there's a piece of aluminium here, so there isn't a through hole. There isn't this hole here that goes straight through, you see. That hole's not there, so this is shorter. Okay, so let's get this thing here fitted on. I just want to make sure you're in camera, because otherwise you're getting a nice video of my vest. Okay, right, let's get this thing here done. Okie doke, where's my paper clip? So I'm going to put a nice wee blob of glue in there. Usual nice generous quantity, there's no point in being tight-fisted about the glue. The temperature, I don't even know what the temperature is in here. I should buy myself a wee thermometer to keep in here, just to you know, feel sick with the heat. Okay, now we'll get our nice wee buffer, the only one that's all in one piece. I'm just going to use my fingers because it's quicker. That's all nice. Okay, that's on. Another wee blob of glue here at the back, we'll just spread that over. In fact, I'll get a toothpick, excuse me. I'm just going to spread that flat like that. Zack. Well, that's good because anyway glue and glaze, it evaporates. Right, so that's on. So now we'll do the other one. The other one, as I told you in a previous video, the buffer housing is slightly wider. So before fitting the actual buffer, we'll put a wee short section of heat shrink tube, very thin black one. So first things first, we're going to put the glue in here. We're packing this with glue. And the glue here won't go out the back because it's a dead end. Then we'll take our little piece of buffer housing, which is this bit here, this short piece of heat shrink tube. We'll stick that in there like that. We'll just use a toothpick to press it in. You're going in, sir. Okay, that's that in. And now that we've restricted the diameter, we're going to add some more glue and glaze. And I have to put another wee bit on the piece of paper. And now we're going to fit the actual buffer. No wire. Okay, that's that packed with glue. So having done that, we're going to take our nice buffer and just stick it in there. There's a bit of wire. And you see, this one here is the one that fits in properly. So this is reference for this one. And I waited a few days for the ones at the back to be nice and solid, so that they can actually sit on it. Okay. Right, excuse me, you'll come down here lower. I'm centering things nicely now, huh? Right. Okay. So there we go. 2 buffers fitted. Look at that. They look well. They look like these ones. I've also picked out the horns and whistles here a bit in matte black. So I'd say that that's very good. Okay, perfect. I'm going to stand this here in a box now so that it sits nice and flush. you can't see exactly how I'm putting it. Just a minute, I'll have to post something. What do I want? I'm standing it so that it's not even leaning on the buffers. I'm going to put something else behind it to stop it from tipping over. What could we put? What could we put? Let's see what junk we've got in here. Glass bottle, bingo. There we go. That's that, propped up, nice and safe. So I'm turning around here like that. There. So this will just stay here, standing on its head. I put a piece of foam at the bottom, so that the cab is leaning on that, but the buffers are not. So it's not leaning on the buffers. And here's our repaired locomotive. And I think that's rather good. So we'll just put it over here, out the road, and let it set there. Right? So, what was I talking about before? We're talking about buffer housings, the buffer bar. So you can see here that this is recessed, but we can get a better view in, so this is the usual photograph that I've shared, the link in the description. I've been listening to REM. Let's go here on Pinterest. You can also see in this black and white photograph that it's actually painted blue. It's the same color as a locomotive. In this picture it looks black, but it's actually not black, it's just dirt. And let's have a look here. This is a very good website, which I will also add in the description box. Train Collection France. It's all about modelling, railway modelling. And this is the front of a very, very, I think this is a O-gauge model of BB67001, so the same locomotive we're working on, as it was built, so with the rounded curved cab windows here at the side. And you can see how the buffer bar here is actually recessed. Here's the sort of aerodynamic fairings here at the side. In origin the buffers were painted white for visibility. I don't know whether to, I'm not going to paint mine white because the locomotive is a bit more used, more dirty looking. I think I might give them just a spot of matte black in the middle to make them look a bit more in use. Something like that, you can see. This is 67,016. And this is a very good website. Here's 67,063. Maybe, I don't know if that maybe already got. And this is a very good website. It shows you all the differences. See how they changed. They lost their aluminium profiles. Got the new SNCF badge here. And all the different models. And all the different manufacturers that made them. So this is Juef, early Juef. Look at that. Another Juef train set with the BB67000. Car transporters. I've got some of these car transporters. I have never shown them yet. I'll have to do it. Here's another one. Different models. Here they're talking about Lima. I'm going to put a picture of Lima. Lima Minitrix. Anyway, so that's that for the moment. So I'll leave you with the beautiful photograph of BB67016 in original state condition. Ours is a bit dirty, so we'll also put some, this is the diesel cap here, we'll also weather it there, add some grime to it. It's not really spotless, and I think we can say that the locomotive, we've finished the job. So I'm rather pleased about that. Tomorrow, or as soon as these are really set, I don't know if tomorrow, because glue and glaze requires some time to set. Well, this heater should set pretty fast. We'll actually, this weekend, we'll be refitting it to the chassis, and we'll be able to take the railway layout out again and give it a nice test run. So I'm looking forward to that. Having said all of this, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel is very important. If you also subscribe to the channel, it's a great help, because that helps with the channel, and share the video. But above all, I like reading your comments. So cheerio, and see you next time. After all, this is a hobby in the end. This is every day I do something, and it's a way of putting up with the heat and with everyday stress, because modelling is a great cure for stress. And remember the British charity Models for Heroes. That's a shout out to them, because it's a great charity also for people who have highly stressful jobs in the services, in the military or whatever, and or in any kind of activity. Modelling is a great way to defuse and reset your brain. Cheerio, and see you next time.